happening, Magnusites? So, I'm going to check out these 15 biggest changes that IGN has seen so far in Resident Evil 4. And yes, I will be checking out their review too. And we got some King gameplay coming. So let's get it. I'm very excited for this game.
So far. It's been 18 years since the release of Resident Evil 4 on GameCube. And the world of Resident Evil has evolved dramatically since Leon's original roundhouse kick-filled escapades. As we inch closer to the release of the highly anticipated remake, we figured it was worth highlighting what's different this time around.
Right.
Here are 15 of the biggest changes we've seen so far in Resident Evil 4.
Where's everyone going?
Bingo.
The combat knife was an essential tool in the classic Resident Evil 4 that allowed Leon to slice ganados and boxes and get himself out of perilous encounters. In the Resident Evil 4 remake, Leon's trusty knife is even more versatile and, when used properly, can parry incoming attacks. By readying the knife at the last moment, Leon can parry to stagger the enemy and counter with a powerhouse melee attack. However, a durability system is now attached to the combat knife, so it's unlikely you'll be able to infinitely attack, block, or parry with your blade.
Right. But I bet you there's a knife in there that you can get that's infinite or something like that, so that'll be helpful once you achieve whatever you need to achieve to unlock it or buy it.
Another knife-related change involves the iconic storage crates in Resident Evil 4. Traditionally, you'd have to sluggishly maneuver Leon close to these containers and break them with your knife. In Resident Evil 4 Remake, Leon can simply smash them open with a sturdy kick by following the on-screen button prompts. Another significant change in Resident Evil 4 is Leon's newfound ability to crouch. Our leather jacket sporting protagonist can now bend down to maneuver under obstacles and pesky tripwire mines. The crouch in Resident Evil 4 Remake presents genuine stealth mechanics that enable Leon to sneak around enemies undetected and execute lethal takedowns with the combat knife. And as an added bonus, you can use the crouch to dodge enemy attacks.
Yeah, I gotta remember that.
It might be a wild concept to wrap your head around in 2023, but for a very long time, Resident Evil titles featured purposely limiting tank controls. And while Resident Evil 4 did drastically improve on the franchise's control scheme, you still couldn't move and shoot at the same time until Resident Evil 6 in 2012.
That's crazy.
Thankfully, Capcom ditched the need to stand still while firing with the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, and the updated Resident Evil 4 continues this tradition. A legacy game mechanic that many of us have happily watched fade with time is the QuickTime Event, or QTE. In many ways, the massive popularity of Resident Evil 4 and its incorporation of these punishing button-mashing sequences...
I gotta say, I like QuickTime Events. Not all of them. But there's a lot of cool ones out there. You know what I'm saying? So, I think if just as long as they're done right. You know what I mean?
Established QTEs as a pillar of game design. While Resident Evil 4 still features QTEs during combat, we can all breathe a sigh of relief knowing that most of the others won't be returning with the remake.
What's funny is
Resident Evil.
I didn't even think of that as being one, but I guess they are kind of.
Evil 4 notoriously takes place near a fictional village in Spain. In the original game, although essentially everyone else spoke the native language, Leon always voiced his concerns in English.
I was wondering if you might recognize a girl in this
photograph. That's right, he did speak in
Spanish. In the Resident Evil 4 remake, Leon has been taking advantage of his Duolingo account to study up on his Spanish. Leon now questions the antagonist in Spanish during the iconic introduction to the Ganados.
Busco a un policía. Vino aquí?
Leon's primary objective in Resident Evil 4 is to find and rescue Ashley Graham, the daughter of the President of the United States. Usually a mission with stakes this high would be rather time-sensitive, but that won't stop Leon from tackling some odd jobs along the way. Resident Evil 4 Remake incorporates side quests in the form of shiny blue notes posted throughout the areas of the game. Speaking of Ashley Graham, Longtime fans of Resident Evil 4 have passionately expressed dissatisfaction with the escort sections in the original entry over the years.
I was actually
If you
fine
hated
with
trying to keep Ashley safe from invading Ganados, well, sorry, that's still very much here. However, Capcom has removed her health bar, suggesting a more forgiving damage system, and overhauled her AI to enable greater exploration as you navigate the terrifying environments in Resident Evil 4. Inventory management has always been a fundamental component of Resident Evil. Resident Evil 4 elevated those ideals with the fan-favorite attaché case. Fans of Gun Tetris will be thrilled to see this system return in all its glory with new and improved customization. You can now buy charms and different case styles that provide passive bonuses, like the Chicken Charm, which increases the health recovery of all egg types. If you count combining red and green herbs, technically Resident Evil has always had some form of crafting. Recently, the franchise has decidedly embraced a greater variety of recipes. Much like Resident Evil 7 and Village, the Resident Evil 4 Remake features a robust crafting system that can facilitate the creation of ammo, healing items, and more.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Ramon Salazar is one of Resident Evil's weirdest and most beloved villains. His short stature and eccentric personality solidified him as an unhinged icon in the series.
I've been expecting you, my brethren.
No thanks, bro.
While fans are delighted to see Salazar return, there's one glaring change with the updated version of this adversary: his hairdo. Salazar's fancy little hat and ponytail have been replaced with a presidential-inspired bushel of curly white hair.
Looks like an old woman to me.
Compared to previous entries, Resident Evil 4 was a grand departure from the franchise's horror roots. Thanks to Leon's military training, the title prioritized action and spectacle over traditional scares. The refreshed art direction in the Resident Evil 4 Remake dramatically heightens each scene's tension by delivering a darker, more terrifying ambiance. It might not be as scary as Resident Evil 2, but it's hard not to tense up when it's time to bust out the flashlight. Historically, the typewriters in Resident Evil have served as safe spaces to save your game and lower your heart rate.
I'm sure they are still.
While the Resident Evil 4 Remake continues to carry this torch, typewriters in this entry aren't just save points. You can now access your item storage and customize your attaché case from any typewriter in the game. There were several critical moments in Resident Evil 4 where your mysterious ally, Luis would assist you in dispatching hordes of Ganados.
Small world, eh?
Fans of this sharp-dressing companion will be happy to know you'll be seeing much more of him this time around. Luis frequently appears throughout the game and can even assist with certain boss fights. Resident Evil is synonymous with blood, gore, and over-the-top violence. As a passionate horror enthusiast, I expected the Resident Evil 4 Remake to deliver in this department, but I was surprised to find out Capcom went so hard with revamping the gore. Leon can now blow enemies in half with the shotgun, sever limbs with strategically placed shots, and even get his eyes thumbed out of his head.
I hate watching that.
We're not ready for how brutal Resident Evil 4 is shaping up to be. Capcom set the gold standard of video game remakes with Resident Evil 2. And based on all the major changes we've seen so far, it seems like they have every intention to up the ante with Resident Evil 4. For more on Resident Evil 4, be sure to check out our ongoing coverage of this highly anticipated horror title. And for everything else gaming, keep it here on IGN.
Gotcha. Well, I'll tell you this. Yeah, I'm supposed to jump back on the extreme difficulty one, man. I'm trying to beat that before, on the demo. So I'm going to try to jump on there today. I got a few things to do, but get these videos out for you. Yeah, I mean? Well, I'm extremely excited for Resident Evil 4 Remake. Very excited. So I can't wait. Make sure you are here for the gameplay. Post comments down below. Let me know what y'all thought. If you enjoyed my reaction, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share. 10 million subscribers. Woo!